This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, the insane Daryl Wayne and I'm Mark Alyn, we're going to take a look at a number of health issues affecting each and every one of us. With coronavirus and COVID-19, we're going to take a look at being happy with Robert Clancy. We'll also take a look at eye health and ophthalmology, as well as COVID-19, as they all interact. And we're going to start with an old buddy of ours, Scott Schilling. He's got a brand new book out. It's called That Sucks, What Now? Real world solutions for getting through what you're going through. Scott and I have known each other for years, and I've directed him on video and TV, and we're both members of the Evolutionary Business Council. Scott, welcome to Late Night Health. Welcome back to Late Night Health.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. It's always great getting back together, for sure.
It is. The world is changing rapidly. COVID-19 has put a damper on many things. We're not allowed to hug. We're not allowed to be around each other. Can your book, That Sucks, What Now, help us through these rather harsh times?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it can, because a lot of what the whole book is about is really understanding that things are happening for us, not to us. And we're in the middle of something that's, quite frankly, affecting everybody around the world. And so a big part of that is how we process the information. I did a show not long ago, and somebody said, "Are you stuck at home?" I said, "No, I'm safe at home." And it was just that little bit of difference, right? I mean, are you stuck at home or are you safe at home? Those are choices that we all make. We all have a series of choices to make during this situation, and that's going to play a big part in our outcome of it all.
Your background is interesting. You're a sales guru. You can sell fertilizer to fertilizer people. You teach a lot of different things, a lot of it revolving around sales, but you also help people take charge of their own lives, and that makes a healthier life. Can you talk about that? What can people do, especially now, using your book and the techniques in the book to live healthier lives?
Well, again, the reality is a lot of it is about choices and about decisions we make. While quote unquote classified, I'm a sales trainer. The reality is everything in life is a sale. Every time you make a presentation of a point for consideration of somebody else, you're offering up a potential sale. And so, not that you have to get that deep and think of it that way every time, but how you address issues, how you listen to people, what questions you ask, what service are you working to become towards them. All those things are part and parcel to a presentation that you're giving. Again, everything in life begins with a decision, and that's part of the book as well. Well, decision comes from the Latin decidere, or to cut off. You cut off another choice in favor of this choice. So, again, I think a lot of times it's how we look at the situation, how we choose to see the outcome. Do we choose to see the outcome? What is our spiritual foundation and all that? All that certainly plays to our health, because if we're not true to ourselves and we hold those things within our body, dis-ease is going to be caused, and dis-ease is going to turn into disease, and that's not good.
The book, by the way, has a foreword by Jack Canfield, and Scott himself has been on stage with people like Les Brown, Susie Orman, Jack Canfield, and many, many others over a 35-year history. One of my favorite salespeople is Tom Hopkins. You know Tom Hopkins?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Right? So
yep.
His whole thing is that life is all about selling, which is what you just said. You know, if you go to a doctor, the doctor is smoking. He's got dirty fingernails. His hair hasn't been washed in 2 weeks, and he smells of tobacco. I don't want him poking around inside of me. And that's a sale. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Totally. The sale starts, and that was one of the things that people said. One of the things when I'm training speakers, I say, when does the sale start before the live event you go to? And they go, well, when you get on stage. And I said, absolutely not. From the minute you leave your home is when the sale starts, because you have no clue who you're going to be talking to, looking at, sitting next to on a plane, traveling in an Uber with, whatever those things might be. So very much so, while there are words that are spoken and tone that is added, physiology is actually a much greater part of the communication process than the words or the tone. And so if a doctor would be looking like that, he's incongruent with his message. If his message to you is, Mark, you need to be healthier, well, that's like, you know, somebody trying to tell you that do as I say, not as I do. Typically,
which was what doctors
well.
did that in the 60s. You know, they'd say you shouldn't smoke as they lit up.
Yeah,
many
exactly.
of them did. Right?
Yeah, a lot of incongruence back in those days,
yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. Let's talk about your health. You've had some health challenges over the years. How are you today, and what is your secret for maintaining good health?
Well, you know, I went through a full-blown cerebellar stroke, which you were there for.
I watched
you were
it.
A part of the story.
Yeah, Daryl and I saw it.
Yeah, Mark says he doesn't have strokes; he gives strokes.
Oh, that's right.
So, but the fortunate portion of it is, it was. I mean, it's a little comical. In the book, I talk about it. And after 8 days of being told you shouldn't be alive, I spun around to a doctor and I said, "Sorry to disappoint you. I'm just an overachiever. I live." So, you know, I don't want to hear that I shouldn't be alive anymore. The point is, part of that is, again, it's the decision process and what you do with it. I came through that. I'm tremendously blessed. I was obviously saved for a reason. I'm working to fulfill that reason. Along the way, I have had some other injuries and other things. My body is like anybody else's. There are portions of it that are more worn than others. Part of it comes because I grew up playing 5 sports and being beat up a little bit. But we have to understand, ultimately, we only have one place to live. And it's actually a question I ask, how many of you plan on staying in your body the rest of your life? And of course, that always gets a chuckle from an audience. And then I say, so then why do you treat yourselves the way you do? These are some of those things that you just have to get into a thought-provoking mode, you know?
Are you exercising regularly and watching what you eat?
I am unfortunately not exercising as much as I'd like, especially with this lockdown. I've got a bone-on-bone situation in the hip that is, it's really tending and lending itself towards a replacement. I'm working to not do that if at all possible, but with this shutdown, it has taken away my ability to do some of the things that I was doing.
Right.
And
Scott, the music is coming up, so we're going to take a time out. Our guest is Scott Schilling. His new book, That Sucks, What Now? We'll be back as Late Night Health continues. Join us at latenighthealth.com.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.
Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Scott Schilling, whose his new book is out, and I'm happy to say that Sucks, what now is a Amazon bestseller in 3 different categories. Scott and I have known each other for a number of years, and we are members of the Evolutionary Business Council, and we see each other at some of the events. Scott, with everything that's going on in the world, I mean, to me, maybe COVID-19, looking at it positively, it's kind of like a reset for us, both physically and mentally. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree with it. In fact, like I said, I've been doing a number of shows because you can't travel, you tend to communicate in different ways. And I said, I see it as a total reset. It's like God got upset and sent everybody to their room and said, "Okay, you're on timeout. Go think about it for a little while." You know, and my platform, especially with the book, is let's return dignity, honor, and respect to the world. You know, let's treat people the way they should be treated. Let's lower the tones. Let's do all those kind of things, right? Let's honor each other for our contributions and what we're doing and all those things. And I think we got out of control as a society and as a world. And I don't think it's any one thing. I think it's a lot of things. But the point is, if you look again, you're out there in LA. I have heard that the folks in LA are shocked that there's a blue sky up above, that they can't remember seeing it for a lot of years. Now, I don't know how true that is, right? But, I mean, obviously, if you take that many vehicles off the road, smog is going to go down.
I have to tell you, I think that's true. I mean, I live just outside of L.A., as does Daryl. Daryl's in Ventura. I'm in Thousand Oaks, as we do the show for social distancing. And I was in the San Fernando Valley the other day over the weekend, and the weather was gorgeous. It was absolutely perfect. And you could see the mountains, which often at this time of year, because of smog, you can't. And a trip that normally takes me about 50 miles.
Yeah, I've heard stories of dolphins swimming in the channels of Venice. I've heard of just a variety of different things. And I think the whole world is literally in a reset right now. And parts of it are terrible. Nobody's going to suggest they're not. But at the other side, parts of it are pretty amazing that, that we can kind of come back to civility and a variety of these different things, right? And the animals, can regroup and do a variety of things. So, again, it's how you come out of it. It's like I talk about in my book. I feel like I went through a near-death experience, and I'm better for that experience. Most people would say, but it wasn't there, wasn't there pain, wasn't there this, wasn't there that? Sure there was. There was all that stuff. It's not what I choose to focus on with it.
Right. And at the same time, our thoughts, I've heard you talk about this and others as well, that our thoughts are things. They're objects. So if you concentrate on the negative, I can't get out of my house, I can't buy toilet paper, there's going to be a meat shortage, all of these negative things, rather than saying, gee, I get to spend time with my wife. I get to, reorganize my office, something I have not done in 2 months, but potentially I could have done that. And that mentally, I have the time to cogitate and plan the next part of my time here on Earth.
That's exactly it. And I think that, business will never be done the same going forward. I mean, it was funny, somebody posted on Twitter, how many online meetings have you had this week? And somebody put 6, and somebody put 12, and somebody went, oh my God, 12. And I put 43. And somebody went, no, seriously, this week. And I said, yeah, serious this week. And they're like, why? And I said, well, because I could. I mean, I don't have to get into a car. I don't have to get stuck in traffic. I don't have to, right? I mean, I'm here. And so I think those who have chosen to become very efficient have gotten more efficient. Those who have decided to sit and eat bonbons and drink beer are doing that too. Either way.
I was going to say that in a week, in 10 days, I think I've had shoes and socks on for an hour.
What are shoes and socks? What are those?
Exactly.
I've forgotten.
Yeah, I have too. It's kind of refreshing. I'm going to go for a walk later today, and I will wear shoes and socks for that. We're allowed to walk. We have a couple of parks near me. I'm going to do a couple of laps around the park and just get out for a little bit, because it feels good. And I don't want to be cooped up any more than anybody else does. But I'm letting my life live. A little bit later on, our friend Robert Clancy is going to talk about happiness, especially now during this time. And I think that's important, and it relates back to health. Happy people tend to be healthier people.
No doubt
always.
about it. And Robert and I were actually talking about that yesterday. I called him out of the blue, and and it's funny because I just said, "Hey, Bobby, how you doing?" He goes, "Nobody calls me Bobby." I said, "I call you Bobby." He goes, "You're right. You call me Bobby." And I did that for fun, right? Because that's friends have fun, and so I totally agree that the more fun, hopefully some of the stress is down and some of those things. Well, that will also help from a physical state. If our stress levels go down, people will become healthier. That's a good thing in all this, right? Maybe some heart disease goes down a little bit because of all this.
And that's what we want. I mean, that's what Late Night Health is certainly all about. In the book, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from the book?
I believe the biggest takeaway of the book is that all things work together for my good. All things work together for my good. Not some things, not just the good things, all things. The reality is, if we didn't have yin, we wouldn't have yang. If we didn't have good, we wouldn't have bad. Everything, now we may not understand it. One of the quotes that I have in the book is, everything in life is perfect, ... as time passes and perspective is gained. So the reality is, while we may not think it's perfect at the time, like when I was going through my stroke, I can tell you I didn't think it was perfect. But afterwards, and after everything I've learned from it, there's no doubt it was perfect. And I came out the other side better off for it. So the real takeaway is, all things work together for my good.
So it's divine timing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Well,
The name I do. Actually, you can go to tswnbook.com, and there are some specials. I forgot to take them down. So for your audience, they still get them.
TFN Books.
TSWN Book. That Sucks What Now? The letters from that. TSWN Book.
That makes sense. That Sucks What Now.com. Terrific. We're out of time, Scott. We'll do this again, okay? And I appreciate your time. Scott Schilling. Me too. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Don't go away. More coming up. Visit us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com.
The latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers, with your host, the insane Daryl Wayne.
This is Alice Cooper, and if Daryl Wayne is insane, what does that make me? Criminally insane. Stick around to find out.
Many of the artist interviews for the latest from the greatest have been captured on audio book. There is a Volume 1 and Volume 2. Great information and conversations with people in the industry and people surrounded by the industry, and of course the rock stars themselves.
I'm the Reverend Al Green, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne. And I said Wayne Insane.
You can find it on Amazon or Blackstone Audio. Search for the latest from the greatest from Daryl Wayne, DARRELL WAYNE.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne, aren't you?
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.